This is how you can retire a millionaire at 35 in 7 steps. We got our boy Steve Adcock. Oh, sorry, I think that's his name. Yeah, Adcock. He retired early at an age of 35. Now, this is not a get rich quick scheme. We're trying to sell you a program or course. For $5,000, you would become rich. Because it sounds like that, right? You become a millionaire at 35 in 7 steps. But yeah, like this is what he talked about. These are the 7 things that he says. And I would say they're really, really good tips that can help you. These are unpopular opinions. The first one was company loyalty will make you poor. What does that mean? Some people, you know, my first job, I remember when I arrived, there was this thing where they celebrated people's work anniversaries. And it's true, you know, staying at one company for like 30, 40 years in general, unless it's like a business you're growing or whatever, you don't go up the pay scale as much. It's very competitive. It's really hard. I mean, there's only one CEO, there's only one director, right? So staying at one place for 30, 40 years, yeah, like, I mean, imagine getting a 2% increase on your salary every year, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it depends.
Yeah, it
depends.
depends.
Like Joshua was saying, if the company is huge, it's like when I worked for a big company, it was huge. It felt like almost impossible to move up. And that's why as soon as something bad happened, they just laid everyone off. Because at the end of the day, being in such a huge company, you don't have like that relationship as you do as a smaller, more intimate company that you're trying to grow a business. So yeah, like company royalty, you're being so faithful to them. But as soon as something bad happens, like we've seen the last year, how many layoffs happen to these big tech companies, you know? Yeah, I think that's why it's important, like not staying at I didn't stay at my first job. You know, but there are people that do that, like,
or they stay at their first job because it's a startup and it becomes Apple, it becomes Amazon.
Oh, and Tesla, you know, or Nvidia, like all these companies, you know, or what's that AI company that just went with Microsoft? OpenAI, you know, stuff like that. Well, yeah, like, but those are startups. You know, those are startups.
Those you want to stay loyal.
Yeah, especially. You know, they make so much money. Yeah.
Second thing is most millionaires are self-made. A lot of people think that millionaires are, you know, handed down money, which, yeah, there are some people that, you know, generational wealth, definitely very true. But there are a lot of everyday millionaires. Dave Ramsey always talks about it, how he's helped thousands of people become millionaires. Like they call it the millionaire next door, that they just had a regular job. They were a teacher. They worked for the post office and they just saved their money. They invested it. That's a key. Safe to invest, not just safe to just leave it there. Yeah, so very good. The next one, this is definitely important. Your life partner can hurt your finances.
Yep.
You get a divorce, 50% of your net worth gone, or more in some cases.
Yeah, that's why it's important, even though it's weird, but like not make it like, how's your savings? You know, as soon as you go on a date or a couple of days, like, how do you do with savings? What do you do in this situation? But almost just pay attention to their spending patterns. And if you notice that they're completely different, you know, right now you're probably in a honeymoon stage, so you'll forgive them. Like, it's okay. She spent $1,000 on this.
How cute.
Yeah, like, it's all right. It's all right. But as soon as you're married and have kids, you got to pay bills, life happens, this and that, and you guys are completely different. Like, that's a divorce has happened.
Yeah. So it's very important. Like for some people, like personally for me, if I was already wealthy and I met someone, I would get a prenup. Just because it's like, it's just hard. Like if I already had, like I'm talking about like if I was someone like Messi, where I was like popular,
do you think he got
famous.
a prenup?
Oh, he met the girl before he was famous. So that's different. Yeah. But if you meet someone when you're famous, when you have the money, I mean, is it really true love? Is it because they want your money?
It's hard.
That's scary. That's hard. You don't know people's
I think that's
intentions.
why Cristiano doesn't want to marry that girl. Like, it looks like they love each other, but my question is like, how come they don't get married? It's probably
and they have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, he can get a prenup, but maybe she doesn't want it.
Yeah. Good. Well, ask your significant other where they get a prenup. They'll probably slap you.
Yeah. For me, even now, because I'm not there yet, so,
yeah.
and we're both building each other up, so it's good.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. But if I was in a different place, yeah. Now, this is super controversial. You don't need to hustle 24/7. You go on TikTok, you go on Instagram. What do most entrepreneur style videos say? You have to work 50 hours a day. Yeah, you know, like there's only 24 hours in a day, right? But it's like, it's true. I 100% agree with that. I follow this entrepreneur. His name is Ryan Pineda. I like him because he talks about like, look, you can hustle all you want, but what's good to have all that money if you don't have time for your family? He doesn't even work 40 hours a week. I think he only works like 30 or 25, so he can dedicate the rest of his time to his family, his passion, his friends, hobbies, because he's like, yeah, I can make more money, but my family's only gonna get older. My kids only gonna get older. It's just like family's important, relationships are important. Time is the most valuable asset. Hustle, it's good to hustle.
Yeah.
I'm not against it, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a balance, or there's different stages in your life. Like when I
Mhm.
first graduated college, I was 25, 28
Yeah.
hours, like sleeping very little, trying to work hard. But now I'm entering another stage in my life where I paid that, like time and effort and discipline of working a lot, that I can like, all right, I don't have to work that hard. I still have to work that hard. I'm only 30, but you don't have to overwork yourself, because some people overwork themselves without really having like direction of where they're going, and then
Yeah.
they're 40, 50, they're not married, they don't have kids maybe, or maybe they did and they missed on all those memories. So yeah, there has to be a balance.
Yeah, I think in your 20s you work hard, in your
Super
30s
hard.
you work smart. You learn from your experiences. Okay, I learned how to make money. How can I make the same amount of money for half the time or whatever, So it's about working smarter, dedicating more time to your family and friends and etc. Now the fifth one is growing up poor doesn't mean you can't build wealth. 100%. We know so
Yeah.
many people.
Our parents.
Our parents, they were able to, their home that they have now has gone up in value a lot, and they came from another country. My dad's first job here in the United States was picking up, like stuff in the farms, like literally.
Yeah.
And yeah, he definitely came from a dirt poor place, as well as my mom. They've been never.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Dirt place.
In the sense, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I'm not trying to hate on Mexico.
Because my Diana, my girlfriend, she's from there, and if I say it's a dirt, they love visiting.
Yeah. Well, like compared to here, where we have roads and all that.
Yeah.
Like it depends what part of Mexico, because obviously there's some parts of Mexico that are nicer than here. But yeah, like you could grow up poor, no money in your bank account, and still build wealth. Don't believe that. Don't make yourself the victim. No.
I wasn't rich, or I don't have this, or I wasn't born, blah, blah, blah.
Nah,
I don't think so.
it's all outside noise. Block it and just.
It's kind of like what you were
focus.
saying earlier. It's all about just being smart with your finances in the simple areas, saving, kind of like what you're saying with Dave Ramsey's Next Door Millionaire. There's very easy steps. It's boring, it's like, it's boring to just be smart with your money.
Yeah, it's really boring, especially like if you don't have some crazy job where you get like extreme bonuses. You get like extreme like signings, like Messi getting $60 million a year because you're an athlete. Regular job. Oh, you got a $500 bonus for the end of the year. Great, $500. After taxes, it's $300. It's boring. It's long. It takes time. So yeah. For most people, unless you have a business, then it's easier. Now, sixth one, a prestigious degree doesn't guarantee wealth. I just told you guys, I was mentioning in another video that have friends that they all studied computer science, technology, data analysts, tech jobs, and they cannot even find the entry-level job because it's so hard. So the degree doesn't always guarantee, especially because with AI and all that, a lot of these degrees are going to become useless.
Yeah, like even I know a lot of people that graduated my degree, they can't find a job even after 10 years. That sucks. So sometimes, like we talked about this before, is pay attention to what's more important in the area. Don't get the general degrees, look something, specialize.
And that that like if I get this degree, I will have a job. Don't get a degree like that's oversaturated, like psychology. That's one of the most saturated, jobs. Yeah, you'll get into the school, of course, because they want to take your money. But then after, once you apply to jobs, what? There's no one hiring to become a psychologist? What? It's hard. It's competitive. It's not easy. So it's like you got to do the research and make sure you can get a job.
But if you've done your homework, you know what you want to do, and it's that prestige degree, we don't want to discourage you either. Go after it if that's your dream, but don't go into it without having a plan. That's what I did, and I switched majors 3 times in college because I was going after those prestige degrees without having a plan or understanding of what I want to do outside of college.
Yes, very, very good. And then the last one, number 7, your passion won't pay the bills. Pat David from Valuetainment, the way he said it is you got to finance your passion. Or he said like you could love what you do, of course, but like I didn't love selling insurance because he had an insurance company. He didn't love it. He enjoyed it, doing the sales and all that. But now he's doing what he loves. He's a radio, podcast, TV personality, whatever you want to name it.
Do you know what happened today? He just became my minority owner of the New York Yankees.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. See?
And he's an immigrant.
And he financed his passion. He didn't start off by doing his passion. He started off by building a company that made him millions. And I don't know how much money he made, hundreds of millions of dollars. Then now that company is helping him pay for value teaming, which that company is now making money. But he didn't start there. So you don't have to just...
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of times.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people want to have this dream of a career that they want to do because that's their passion, or maybe they're good at this one area, but there's no one that wants to buy that. You know, maybe you're good at painting. It's like when I was working for a documentary. There was a guy who's a really good painter, and he thought in his head that this painting was worth like a couple $1,000s. But they were only selling for this amount of money. And his head is like, no, this isn't fair. You know, I put my heart and soul into this. But like, yeah, your passion is not going to pay your bills. Look for something that you're good at. Maybe it's not your favorite, but you can do this long term enough that it can pay for you to be able to maybe create that business that is your dream, or be able to do your passion, which is maybe traveling, spending with your family, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and we're not trying to tell you the opposite, that like you shouldn't hate what you do either.
No.
You should have some sort of, like passion or some sort of like enjoyment with it or fulfillment, but don't do something just because it makes you so much money, but you hate it so much with the passion. It affects everything, your mental health and everything. No. Don't think that as well. We're not just trying to chase the money, but no. But you got to pay bills at the end of the day too. So there's a balance. There's a balance for sure.
Yeah, I think out of all these, it's everything's a balance. Understanding, what makes sense for you, because what makes sense for me, or what makes sense to that famous person on Instagram or wherever, YouTube or TikTok, that's making them success, might not make sense for you. Everyone's different. Find something that makes sense to you and that you really enjoy.
If you yourself were able to build your wealth to $1 million or more, let us know in the comments below how you did it. Was it by buying a house? Was it slow and steady? Was it overnight because you invested into Dogecoin, right? Yeah. But how was it? Let us know.
My passion would be just watching soccer all day, but that probably doesn't pay the bills.
Maybe one day you could turn that to a podcast, for example, right?
There you go. See, that's a way to pay.
Where you talk about, soccer, talk about, etc. Right? So these are good things that you can apply. Here at Avance Latino, we're trying to be a bridge of resources. We're trying to empower all of you guys that are watching with, financial literacy, but making it more entertaining, more, keeping it simple for all of you guys. That way you guys can understand. And hopefully this is a good roadmap for you guys as you're building your wealth, building your careers and your businesses. Let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next one.